what you do with your influence and what you do with that power speaks volumes.
Exactly.
So I feel like because, like you said, Kanye has so much influence, it's almost like just as loud as he is about certain topics that can be controversial, it's like, can you be equally as loud about more activism as well? And I feel like at one point he was.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was.
think he stopped doing that.
Yeah, Kanye's always
and the
been
noise
weird.
just became more like AI. Welcome to Never Too Shy.
Welcome to Never Too Shy, guys.
Welcome to Never Too Shy. Nestor had this idea that we should say it together at the same time.
Yeah, but
I don't think that's for us.
I
you
always
know?
bomb shit, so it's fine.
It's okay, trial and error. We gotta.
alright.
It's so weird, like looking at you in this angle, sitting in this chair.
Why?
Because I'm so used to you being right next to me, where I could touch your leg.
Do you feel like Paulina, or do you?
No, I feel like
or
me
you're missing
all the
me
time.
touch, or you're
but
missing
it does
touching my
feel
leg.
weird being in the captain's chair.
So you don't want to touch that. You want to touch my leg.
Yeah, I'm so used to touching your leg. I don't know if people could tell I touch your leg a lot.
I can't even tell.
I feel like Paulina rubbed off on me.
The touchy part?
Yes, because when we were at the table, Paulina used to be like, "Oh," and like
she
She does do that, and
like caresses
I've
you,
never
right?
been that person, but like I do it to his
It's
leg.
your soft era.
I don't know.
It's your
I'm in my
soft
soft girl era. Finally.
As a heterosexual guy, we can't do that. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can.
That's true.
That is true.
But anyway, hello. Thank you guys for tuning in yet again. What's your name, boo?
Should we introduce ourselves?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Nestor, aka the Brow Bro.
And I'm Talk with Tati, aka Tati. Yo, if Paulina's
And our
not
producer,
here,
and
this
our-
intro is trash. But
No, I
it's,
like it.
But it's hilarious,
It's
right?
very, like,
It's very
organic. I like
us.
it.
You know,
there's
Paulina
no
is
one
just like the
steering the
glue.
ship.
I like it.
There's no captain today. You guys,
Yeah.
it's all the deck mates are running it.
Yeah.
We are all the captain, aren't we?
No, Paulina's the captain. We're all the deck mates. We're the
No,
people who
I'm the
watch
captain.
No,
of my-
I'm Regina George.
I'm the captain
so
of my own
whatever
life.
she is
I'm
of a
sorry.
boat,
You're
that's
Regina
me.
George?
She's your captain, but I
Captain,
feel like
my
I'm the captain
captain.
of my own
I
life.
think you're a pirate. Maybe you're a vulture.
I feel like I'm the person who owns the boat.
I am worried about vultures. But we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
we're gonna get into that.
Don't,
but
don't move your mic too much.
we're gonna get into some entertainment talk, some artist talk, some creative genius talk. But I want to start off with our affirmations. So, do you want to go first, Nestor?
Yeah, I'll go first. So actually, can you hear me? Okay. So I have like two quick ones. One is someone had said she had posted on her social media that like randomly, like she does, I think she works for the government or something like that, and she said like I should just be ¿cómo se llama? I should sell houses like randomly. She
Like
said
real
that.
estate agent?
Yeah, she randomly said that, and it just made me realize like how sometimes like we start doing new things because we think we could be good at it. And so something that stood out that I got from that whole little scenario was like, don't just do things that you can be good at. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's so simple, but I think a lot of times we get in that habit of doing that, you know. And so, yep.
Growth happens when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, but also like my main point from it is like to do what you actually want to do.
Yeah.
You know? And then the other one would be be as authentic as long pause. Be as authentic as you can be it's just my goal. That's my goal
Be
in
as
life.
authentic as you can.
Be as authentic, because a lot of times I feel and I see within my friends, within myself, where we're like just constantly trying to be like each other, or you hear like a lot of like who the baddest bitch, or even like the other day we said like who's Regina George, you know what I'm saying? And even in the beginning of this thing, like who's the captain, you know? And so we try our best to try to like change ourselves to being something that we're not. And so just be as authentic as you can, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. My affirmation is effort is better than promises. Somebody could promise you so many beautiful things and it could be great, but look at their actions, look at their effort. Are they trying? So maybe you're going to promise to buy me a horse, right?
Big old
However, you could put in a lot of effort to try to get me that horse. Maybe you can't get it, but I prefer effort than a promise, like an empty promise.
I get that.
Like, don't make promises you can't keep, or at least don't make a promise unless you're going to put in the effort.
Yeah.
That's much more respected.
Yeah.
So that's my affirmation.
I have a question, but isn't it like you putting yourself in like in God's place? Like I need to watch you like put that effort in.
No, I
Nah,
think
I'm not saying that's what it is.
No,
I'm
no,
just
yeah.
asking.
I think I see it more as I'm not gonna promise somebody something, me personally, right? Unless I know 100% I can make that promise happen. But I feel like a lot of people give promises without really thinking about if it's doable. However, in that case, then put the effort in. Don't even make the promise. Say, I'm going to try and we're going to do this. Because then there's effort behind it. And I feel like that is much more respectable and commendable than
I
just
get
empty
that.
promises.
I get that.
Marco, what's your affirmation?
My affirmation would be, don't be afraid of the first step. And I think that people sometimes are afraid to take the first step forward in their life, in their careers, and what they want to do because they can't see the rest of the staircase. And I think that, that first initial step is like the biggest, the scariest thing to do. And then, just keep getting another step up there, keep getting another step up there, and make sure that, even if you can't see the top of the staircase or the end of the road or where your destination is, just go along the path and make sure that you're doing it to how you want it done. And you'll get to where you're supposed to go.
That's
I love
beautiful.
that. Yeah, that's
That I don't know why it reminded me of this because I think that's so scary. Like the first step in anything. I agree. Because I think that's one thing about me. Like I like trying new things to challenge myself, but I get scared a lot about certain things. But I don't know why I thought of my friend a few months ago. Like she's been broken up with her boyfriend for over a year now, maybe 2 years, I think. I don't know.
Dang.
But for the first time, she deleted all the pictures of them, like on her social media, on her camera roll. And then she finally deleted their text message thread, which is like 4,000 videos, pictures, everything from years. And that was like 2 years later, but that was like the first step of really
go.
leaving it in the past. Because it's like, it's not really fully in the past if there's some reason why you want to hold on to their text messages. Like, why are you still reading them? If you still want to look at their pictures. So,
yeah.
that reminded me of that.
Oh yeah, I think it's beautiful. It really reminds me of like when I left my old job and started doing hair. Like I really,
What was your old job, Nestor?
I think it was, what was my last job?
I can't imagine you doing anything else besides
So
what you're
I
doing,
was
right?
promised. So I used to work for right before. Let me think about it. Right before that, I was promised like a management job
Save
at
promises.
at a It was this lady who did like, she worked with event planners,
Okay.
and so basically I was supposed to take like over in that, and she ended up putting me to wash all like her linens and doing all like that type of work, which I mean, it is what it is.
I don't
But
see you doing that.
Yeah, I don't see myself doing that either.
It's
And
your
so,
Cinderella story.
so I think like going from that to like what you're saying, I really like it was scary to take that first step from letting go of something like stable, because even though like it wasn't the job that I wanted, it was super stable. Like I would get 40 hours,
Yeah.
I was, doing that. And so it looked scary. And I remember my brother telling me like, dude, you're so good at, I think I talked about this before, but him telling me like, you're so good at what you do. You're such a good braider. You're such a good this and that. And so from one day to another, I just quit my job, and it looked scary, but I took that first step.
That's crazy. I can't imagine you washing or doing anything. I can't imagine you being an employee.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be like you just wouldn't be about that
You wouldn't
vibe.
hire Nestor?
No, I would not hire Nestor. I'm
Why?
sorry,
Why wouldn't
Nestor.
you? Why wouldn't you?
We'd fight too much. That's why.
I would-
Nestor.
Oh, you think I would challenge you?
No.
Nestor could be
Then why?
your stylist.
Oh, your assistant?
Yeah, you could be my stylist.
Your
Nestor.
assistant.
I usually wear the same 3 things, and I usually have the same 4 different pants.
Actually, I feel like my dream job before like doing what I'm doing now, I always wanted to be somebody important's assistant. Like I feel like
You want to just be an assistant? That's your dream?
yeah, that was my dream. Like, but an important person.
I
like,
want to be the important person, and you could be my assistant.
but I
then. Let's
never-
make it happen. Let's go. Let's
Let's
get
do
the
it.
subscribers up.
I think it's because like just going through like, not to get super deep, but I
Yeah.
felt like I was always the assist. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't see past that, even though like I feel like everyone would see something else in me. I
Your
couldn't.
potential.
Yeah, I
your-
couldn't see that in myself, and so like my biggest goal was to be like a famous person, a person's assistant or
Well,
whatever.
Kim Kardashian was pretty much Paris Hilton's assistant.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was
Exactly.
doing
And
her.
look at that.
And then
So-
she got a sex tape, so that's all you're missing, Nestor.
So
Well,
OnlyFans
I
coming.
mean, that's not. It's out there. It's just not public.
Oh my god! It wasn't a tape. It was a picture. It was a picture.
It wasn't a picture.
Was it a? Oh no! It was.
It was
a
a video, boo
It was a
boo.
It was I don't even know.
It was
That
a
was a
video of my
video.
booty, guys.
Oh my god. Well, if you subscribe
No
to our
wonder you be touching my.
Patreon,
No, just kidding.
Ever since then. But moving on to like touching and bodies,
body, yada, yada.
the Super Bowl halftime.
Usher?
Usher took off his shirt.
Okay, what did you guys think about that?
Listen.
Uh-huh.
I ride for Usher. I am all about the 90s classics. You remind me. I Need a Girl. Like, I was here for all of it. I wish the halftime was longer.
Really?
Yes, I was here for it.
Nestor talking to Mike.
Sorry, that's not gonna happen. That's
know.
what. That's what my fucking roommate was like. So when is Taylor Swift gonna go on? I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
bitch, do you not know
Stop.
what like the planning that goes on
Yeah.
with the halftime show? Like,
Dude.
even I know that.
Yeah, well, Rock
It's-
Nation's in charge of it since
Yeah,
like 2016. So Jay-Z's been the one that's curating the halftime show.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. My favorite's been the one that was 2 years ago
Oh,
with Dre and
I knew you were
Snoop
gonna
and
say
everything.
that one.
That's been my favorite. This one was, I felt like it was too slow in the beginning.
Who, Usher?
Yeah, and I also felt like his sound was off. or
No, his
something.
sound was
Wait,
off.
wait,
It was off, right? Like
But like that's not his fault.
you couldn't hear him. I was
But
like,
that's not
No,
Usher's
you
fault.
know whose sound was off in the beginning? Alicia Keys.
No, it wasn't her sound.
no.
Her pitch was off.
Baby girl, her note, she cracked.
She
It was
cracked.
her.
I
But
was like,
listen,
oh my
I
God.
don't care. I saw Alicia Keys and Usher. My childhood, it was a wrap. I literally was in tears. Like, oh my
But I
god,
was
this is
telling
it.
I hate to like have so much opinion about it because like I was telling my roommate and my brother because I was watching it with them. I'm like, boy, if I was to have to perform in front of all them
Yeah,
people,
it's not easy.
my shit would crack the whole time.
And again, Usher did not do like auto tune. He didn't lip sing. Like he sang and
Dude, he
he
did a great job.
performed and he rollerbladed and did the tick 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 tick. tick. Like he did all that. Like
yeah,
shout out to
that
him.
boy was sweating.
And I feel
Oh
like
my
you
God.
really have to be an Usher fan to appreciate the beginning. Because like you said, it was slow.
Yeah.
But if you're a real
was
Usher,
slow.
if you're a real Usher fan,
Yeah.
you it wouldn't be complete
Hold on.
without that.
No, I understand. Like I liked the songs in the beginning. I just felt like it should have been up tempo at first to like get the crowd.
It
going.
was. What are you talking
No,
about?
not comparison to like yeah and everything else.
No,
But it's like a build up, like
Dude,
climbing a
No,
mountain.
it was. I thought it was the opposite. I thought the beginning of the show was super busy. I don't know if it's because it was all those dancers.
visuals
no,
were busy.
the visual was busy.
Maybe.
I agree with you with
The
like all
sound
the.
wasn't
He was trying to show Vegas, right?
Yeah, the people
that
were
was a
fucking
little
flying
too
in the
busy.
air.
I agree. I wasn't a fan of that, but like him, the songs, the production choice of like how, like what songs, the transitions. My favorite was like where was Usher at 7:00 on the dot?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like. I love that. It was.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I watched it again and again and again.
I love the Ludacris Little John like cameos.
dope.
Those are dope.
Oh, her on the guitar?
And no one knew who it was. They're like, who the hell
Yeah,
is
everybody
this?
else is trash. If you don't know who her is, like, get cultured, figure it out.
She's saying that because we went to a concert.
Dude, I
together.
love her. Ask Nestor. I was living my best life.
Yeah.
Literally. Oh my God, I just thought of something. All the main three. We're not gonna count Lil Jon and Ludacris. But
Why?
the three, because those three, I saw them all in the summer. I saw Usher in his residency in Vegas. Then we saw her, and then I saw Alicia Keys in July.
What about Will I Am? You didn't see him?
No, but those are the three I cared about. And I saw that, wow. And all three put on amazing concerts, and all three sound amazing live, and all three put on a great show, and all three made me cry.
Oh, nice.
I really liked it. I think it was the dynamics of the show was really good. I actually would say it started off real good, and then it went to something chill, which brought everybody. It was very nostalgic, so everybody it brought everyone
Yeah.
there, and then it went back up. So I think I liked it. It was like a really good roller
It was
coaster.
a ride.
I really liked the Alicia Keys part. Gotta be honest with you. I think that was.
I liked it, but man, he did good all on his own.
Yeah,
Like,
he did.
but also like, and I hate to say this, like being like judgmental because obviously like I'm vibe sexual, but he kind of gave me those vibes like hard. Not in a bad way, but I'm just
What
saying.
vibes that?
Usher, is he bi?
No, you know he got
Yeah,
married.
he just got married.
He got married to
shit.
his longtime girlfriend right after.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Vegas. They pulled a Paulina.
He gave me those vibes. I
Vegas.
don't know why. Like hard.
Hey, Nestor, if you can catch Usher, man, if you can get him.
I know, right?
You know, you go
I
out
probably
there.
wouldn't be. No.
But anyway, speaking of like creatives and entertainment and a show, there has been quite the debate in our group chat, y'all. This
In
debate.
the family.
The
In the
current
The
family.
family, we had beef
The
last
family
week.
feuding again.
Last week we had beef, and now they're feuding again. And guess what? I wasn't in any of them. Hallelujah. No cancel queen for the
Let me-
last 2 weeks. So Marco and Nestor have been going back and forth about Kanye, Ye, Yeezy, whatever you want to call him. And it's the typical debate. It started off old Kanye, new Kanye. In the comments, I just want y'all to take a minute, pause right here, and comment. Old Kanye, new Kanye. Who you rocking with? Are you rocking with the good life?
Okay, but can you?
Or are you rocking with vultures?
We're
Are you rocking with what's that song? It's like bad bitches or big booty bitches don't fall out the sky. Like, you rock-
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard
where,
it.
Where you or whatever? Like who
Listen,
are you guys
listen.
vibing with?
Well,
Because I'm gonna let them take the lead.
first-
I'm just here to look
first of
cute
all-
now.
Are you vibing with
First-
Scoopity Doop?
Go ahead.
Scoopity
Go
Doop?
okay,
ahead.
first of all, I want to apologize to our producer.
No, you don't have to apologize to me.
Why?
I'm good. What are you doing? Why?
I want to apologize because of the one. Well, one because of this. I should
Start
and
from the beginning.
I should. Okay, so the whole debate was like new Kanye, old Kanye, and to me, I just don't like that to begin with, because I don't like to put anybody, whether you're an artist, whether you're whoever, you do hair, you're a teacher or whatever. Like, there's the methods change and creativity changes, and we're always evolving as humans. And so when it comes to like that, to me, that's not even an argument. I think for me, so obviously like our producer, he's like an old Kanye fan, and so I shouldn't have called him, and this is where like the whole feud started, where I told him like, you're a businessman, which he is. He's a very good businessman. But I shouldn't. I said, you're not a creative. That's why you don't understand him, And I think no one should ever say those words to anybody, because I feel like whether some of us are like that's our power lane or not. Like, I feel like we all have some sort of creativity going on inside of us, And so I apologize.
You hurt my feelings.
That's what I wanted to apologize for.
You hurt my feelings.
Well,
Question
sorry.
for both of you then. Let's talk about it. How would you define a creator?
A creative or a creative?
Oh, yeah, sorry. A creative. Sorry. God is a creator. No. How would you define a creative?
Well, what I meant to say when I told him that is that he's a creative, obviously, he helped put this show together. But when the word that I meant to use in that specific moment was an artist, Kanye is like an artist. He's artistic, not only through music, but through fashion, you know what I'm saying? And so he's like very well, like he's paved culture for in many areas. And so I want to say this disclaimer, like I'm not a Kanye West fan, like per se, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a Kanye West fan. Like I love Kanye. He reps Chicago, you know what I'm saying? He did put Chicago on the map, even though he's not from Chicago, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he grew up in Chicago, but
I mean,
technically he's not from Chicago.
Common's from Chicago, and Common,
But
don't come at my sexy man, Common, okay?
Yeah.
You like him bald?
Caramel man.
anyways, but what I'm saying is
no,
like,
I get it. Uh-huh.
what I'm saying is that Kanye, I respect him as a like artistic director. I respect him.
Not just as a rapper. You're
No,
looking
like,
at big picture.
And a lot of times, and this is like our whole debate was that he could, talk right now. But
oh, yeah. I'm giving him the
but
mic, too.
morally, like, do I agree with the man all the time? I don't. But, it's that our morals, like, we're always growing in that area. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, who we were when we were kids is not who we are now. And so sometimes even along that, like, there's a lot of things that we go through that cause us to have these mental breakdowns and stuff like that. And I myself, like, have been in those situations where, like, in my mind, like, I'm not, I'm so going through stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so I wouldn't want my work as a braider, as a barber, as a eyebrow person, personality, whatever, to be judged based off of like some of my mistakes. And so I think a lot of times it's hard to detach, the artists from, like
The person.
the person. And so, yeah.
I mean, it's a persona, right? A lot of the artists give us their persona, like Aubrey versus Drake, two different people. But one thing I do agree with you with is just this idea of like, don't compare the old version of me to the new version of me. It's still me. I'm evolving. I'm changing. And I think across the board, that's fair, right? People learn different techniques, whether it's in like braiding or the way you cut hair, or maybe, as a teacher, I changed in this way. I don't think there's anything wrong with evolving as long as like you're doing it because like you're working on your craft. You're doing better, right? It's not like, oh, you got lazy.
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, yeah, you shouldn't like compare old or new to something because times do change. Especially like in real life. I say real life, like Kanye's not real. But like I'm thinking about like us, everyday people. A lot of people would assume like, oh, you changed. But like you know the 17-year-old me.
Yeah.
You don't know the third floor me. You don't know my life and you don't know me. So you can't go judge based off of something that has so much time spread apart.
And then there's moments that like anybody like, oh, I like for example, my haircut, like
Love it.
there's moments that like
Zaddy.
there's certain haircuts that you liked most of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like that's a better me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Debatable. This is a better
well,
you. I know,
and so
kidding.
it's just, and so like with him, I feel like a lot of times he gets judged like that. And so, which everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I mean, my thing is just like, I went to go see the guy. So my brother so my brother had a raffle, like just a little story. Like my brother had a raffle and I didn't get the tickets. And so I'm like, man, should I buy a ticket or should I not? And the reason why I bought a ticket, it's not because again, I'm not like this huge Kanye West fan. Like if you put me next to a Kanye West fan, they can tell you all their albums, all their songs. Yeah. So am I that person? No, I went because like
you wanted the experience.
Yeah, I think as someone who's building himself, building his brand, and I see so much for my personal life. I love to be around like settings like that where I'm able to learn. Like I'm able to get use the watermelon principle. Get the good out of people and spit out the bad. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times that I feel like we don't do that, and we just like right away. Like I didn't go just for the hype, Like I went because like I'm building something. Like I know that I'm building, and even leaving the concert, not concert, shouldn't say that.
Party.
The listening party, and that's a whole nother thing. But leaving it, I felt so inspired, inspired to like not waste another dollar on a concert. And to not if I get invited to a concert.
I was about to say, so you ain't spending money to go to Sueños. You ain't spending money.
What the hell?
No, I'll go to if someone gets me a ticket. aka Paulina.
Paulina Usher is coming in October.
If one of my clients buys me, I'm appreciative of that. But something that I left there, and it's crazy. Like I was able to bond with my little brother about it. But we left like knowing that we have so much work to do, not because like you're competing with anyone, but because you understand that like you have a purpose, like, and that's when I see him. And that's what I was telling my brother, like, I don't understand like why I named it Vultures. And he was saying how like his thought of it was that the whole world was literally like being like vultures with him, like sucking him and eating off of him. And so now, he's doing the same thing, like, oh, you want to eat off of me? I'm going to eat off of you, to the industry, there's certain things that we don't know being in certain settings that he has already been able to be in that we don't know. And this is not to defend the man, but anyways, back to like from leaving the thing, I felt so inspired because I feel like a lot of people, we're consumers, we consume, like we just want to get from something out of something, you know what I'm saying? And so we forget that we're in a place in our life that we should be creating. You know what I'm saying? We at our age group, and not just age, because it doesn't matter how old you are, but at the season we're at, like we should be creating things. We should be creating things so that, we pave the culture or the way for the next
So
generation.
basically, like to leave a legacy almost.
Yeah, and just to live your life to the fullest, but in the sense of like living out your purpose. We all have something that we should be doing because it's part of our purpose, and that's what I see with him. Like, literally, this man, like, I respect him so much in that aspect that he's like left his mark. You know what I'm saying? If he was to die, which hopefully he doesn't, like, but if he was to die tomorrow, like, he left his legacy, in a lot of ways, and yeah, so that's my.
All right.
What?
Let's hear your opinion on Kanye.
So the funny thing is, I'm actually a Kanye fan.
Right.
So I've been a Kanye fan since polos and backpacks. I've been a Kanye fan since graduation. I've been a Kanye fan since Pablo. Like, I was a big Kanye fan. So in a real sense, for me, it's like disappointing to see where he's gone with his legacy. Because when I think of Kanye, I think of Drake, I think of, Juice WRLD, I think of all of the new artists this world are really descendants of Kanye, and especially in hip hop. And I think of that, and I look at his peers and the power culturally that Kanye had, right? And what he could have done and what he has done. And I look at that in comparison to when he was with Roc Nation and with Jay-Z and with these bigger brands, and to see that he really could have led a larger demographic and population of the urban youth and the youth of the world to a certain direction, like you're saying, to be inspired. But what happened really with Ye, I think, is, the radicalization and the issues with the industry and everything else that's happening, really, that cause him to have mental problems, like mental health problems, right? And like, as someone who, was a huge Kanye fan, it's like upsetting, kind of, not upsetting, but like you feel for him. Like, you feel like he should be in a space where he can get the help he needs, and he doesn't have to lash out, or he doesn't have to go out against this or attack other groups of people, or say that slavery was a choice, or say that the Jews are doing X, Y, and Z. Because, like, what does that benefit you from? Like, what does that do for you? Like, you had $1 billion brand with Yeezy, with Adidas, the second largest sports manufacturer in the world, and you could have been the largest brand of sports. I had Yeezys. Like, I didn't have the clothes and shit, I just had shoes.
Bougie.
But you had that, and $1 billion company was willing to part with you for the rhetoric you're saying. And my biggest problem is the general public part of it, right? Because like people like you, when you're in a bubble and you're in a cult of Kanye, or you're in a cult of whatever you want, you'll never believe that person, what they're saying or what they're doing is incorrect. But when you step out and you look at the general public, then you're saying, okay, well, maybe this is wrong. And that's what I told you yesterday. I'm like, Kanye could have been like bigger than Jay-Z. And you're saying, no, Jay-Z's bigger. Like, we just talked about it, bro.
You said Jay-Z's bigger?
Yeah. Well, no, you said Kanye could have been bigger. Kanye is bigger than Jay-Z.
I think it is. He is.
What did we just talk about 20 minutes ago? Alicia Keys and Usher, right?
Yeah.
Who did that? Jay-Z. Do you know why?
But
Because
I think that's where like we choose to like think differently in certain, and I don't agree with that statement, because I feel like, or I wouldn't say even the word bigger.
Yeah.
I shouldn't use that. Yeah, I wouldn't even use that word. But I do believe right now he has way more influence than he does. And I think when you say I'm disappointed at him, like, what do you mean? Do you mean artistically? Do you mean morally? Do you mean his mental health? What do you mean? Because I think obviously when someone is going through something bad,
yeah.
When I look at myself, and this is why I choose to we're not thinking the same, because I feel like when I go through stuff in my mind, a lot of times it's not like I'm choosing to go through that stuff. It's just things that you go through. You know what I'm saying? And so I think as somebody at his level, it's just he's in the limelight, and so it's like you're gonna be like in a microscope or whatever. Like
Yeah.
people are looking at your life like that. And so I can, and this is again, this is another thing. Like I'm like, man, I don't know if I would have gotten with the choice of him, like rewarding, in my opinion, his daughter with a collab, knowing that how she disrespects her mom. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And so again, so I'm not completely in agreement with him in all his choices, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but just because someone is going through something like that doesn't mean like, who am I to say like, I'm disappointed at you because you're going through something in your mind?
Well, I'm
You know what I'm
disappointed
saying? Like-
because I'm a fan of him.
Yeah,
so
but-
that's a disappointment towards
but
me
you
for his
think
mental
that's-
health.
But do you think that's a choice?
What?
Or do you think he's not, like, it's like me, like, I still have to work. I still got to work. And then him being, and us being people of color, like, you have to understand also, like, we got to work.
Yeah.
We have to work. There's so many people that now depend on whether we work or not. And so, like,
By the way, I'm pretty sure Kanye West never has to work ever again in his life.
yeah, but there's a lot of people that depend on him. And also, again, going back to his purpose, which is a whole nother thing. I don't want to get sidetracked from it. But it's like, that's where, like, I see where you're coming from, and I hear you, but at the same time, like, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I respect you, but you're a producer and everything, you know, and I love you, but that's just something that I don't agree, you know, and I feel like I'm not.
I think once again, it's like going to niche in general public, right? Because it seems as though you're in the niche of the sphere of influence that Kanye currently has on culture and fashion and everything else, right? Where the opinion on that,
I think you're choosing to put me there because I can see
you're wearing his clothes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Just because.
Even the crest you're wearing, right? Like,
yeah, but
do you know where that crest originates from?
The vultures, we just talked about.
I understand, but do you know where the inspiration for that comes from?
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of times we wordplay with things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We wordplay with things, and we choose to turn things around. I can't talk about certain things because I don't fully know, and this is something that even coming into this conversation, we said that. You know, you could pull out studies, and
I'm not pulling out any studies.
I'm saying, but you could.
Yeah. I'm not sure what studies you can pull out about Kanye.
I've been said this about, there's certain things that you're more knowledgeable of that I'm not. You're even a fan.
I am.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, to choose to look at someone bad or to demonize someone because of their mental breakdowns and their
not
like
at all
whatever,
demonizing him for mental breakdowns.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
No, I said from the jump, I feel like he should get the help he needs. I never said that.
But how do you know he's not?
Because of what you're wearing right now on your chest. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
no,
that crest you're wearing there, that is inspired by 1940s Germany. He told himself. You can look it up.
Okay, there's a lot of things.
By 1940s Germany and Nazi culture. And so you want me as my childhood idol to put up, merchandise that has white power propaganda? Like, you think that's cool with me?
Yeah, but
as a brown person,
again,
like you just said?
Because at the end of the day, do you think that you're not falling under what everybody's talking of him instead of actually doing research of him?
Nestor, he's sense? The one that made that.
But I'm saying you wordplay. A lot of times people.
There's no wordplay.
A lot of times artists use certain things.
Correct.
That have been used against them, and they try to turn it around. Is what I'm saying. But all you choose to see right now is like what it originates from, and and it's like a lot of times that's what we do. We choose to turn things around, and I think you're just stuck. You're saying that I'm in this circle of influence, that I'm only influenced by Kanye, when I just said that I don't. A lot of the things I don't believe the way he does, like morally and artistically, is what I choose to like learn from. I learn not just from him, but in general, I choose to learn that from anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're kind of like using like this narrative of like being like using white supremacy stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I'm telling you that that's not what he's choosing to use his as.
Okay. So when you get to the point of researching that stuff, right? And you get to the point of knowing what the art you're inspired by is, and then you are taking that and making your own art that is bringing direct elements from that prior art, you don't think that that's a bad look for you to say, okay, this person, right? Because before, really, the break is in the past 3 years where the narrative has changed from Kanye wanting to be, America's first black billionaire to Kanye wanting to be black empowerment to doing all that to in 2016, 2017, 2018 when it started being, slavery was a choice, everything else, the Jews suck, they're demonizing me, I couldn't get a meeting with Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan Chase. Like when that escalated up, whatever happened in his life, we can't speak to because I have no idea. All I can say is what he's presenting to the general public and his fans,
or what the world is saying about certain things.
So
that have happened in history.
No one put in his mouth, but slavery was a choice.
Okay, but there's a lot of things in history that I believe have been tainted by people in power for us to think a certain way about certain situations. I mean, certain things in history that have happened. And so I think that's where you're going.
Wait, I'm confused.
But I do believe that people that are in his level of influence are affected by it directly, and they can see something that we might not be able to see. And until you sit in those direct tables, that we can't speak of that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, do I believe everything that history tells us now? I don't.
No, I mean, history is...
But I believe that you do. And because of that, this is where your agenda is coming. Because that's what you're saying right now. And that's
you believe in God, I don't. That's a contradictory statement, what you just said.
Okay, so then if
you were given an ideology that was written down by man.
So then why are you so quick to believe? Why are you so quick to believe in this narrative that the media is putting of him when not you? If you're a Kanye fan, then you should actually do your homework. Like, have you?
Okay, hold on.
Have you? Okay, I have a question. Have you listened to his last album?
Yes, Vultures. It fucking sucks.
How have you listened to it? Not that album. I was thinking about the one
Donda?
before that.
Yes.
Because the one Vultures hasn't really fully came out yet.
Vultures' first album came out on Thursday.
The song.
The entire album came out on Thursday. Vultures Volume 1.
No, not the whole thing.
Yes, it did. Nestor.
No, it didn't.
Check your Spotify. Want to bet?
Maybe on Spotify.
Check your Apple Music. It's all on DSPs.
I've never been so quiet in an episode. It's crazy.
So, but the thing here,
like,
it's just, Nestor, you're trying to make my beliefs not be my own beliefs and my ideologies.
I'm not trying to.
You're gaslighting me into thinking
you were gaslighting
that I'm believing something else because you know why? I'm listening to the artist directly. I'm not going to a social media person.
No. Okay, that doesn't matter. It's not about who's gaslighting who.
No, I'm just saying because you're literally trying to.
You're choosing. No,
you're choosing.
The whole thing happened.
You're choosing for me to not listen to what this person's saying directly.
No.
Yes,
No. I'm choosing. Okay, so I was focused on the artistic side of this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my thing. I knew from the beginning that you were gonna want to go
talking about the art. Look, that merch is art.
Yes,
everything
it is
that he pulled out.
That's true.
Yes,
but also you're choosing to be led through his political views, his moral views.
Which to lead directly to his art.
And that's something that you're leading with. And from the beginning, I said that I don't fully agree with that with him.
Correct, but you're still defending, and you went as far to say that
I'm saying this because
slavery was a choice.
I'm not gaslighting you. I'm asking you questions about, and I didn't say those specific words.
Okay, you didn't say those specific words.
Did I say those specific words?
No, you said whatever the media has to say about the subject is perhaps
whatever
incorrect.
Subjects. No, you said that.
I was saying that
specific. And the reason why I said that is because I know I have a clear understanding that I don't have a clear understanding of certain subjects that have happened in history.
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay.
Whether you choose to believe in whatever you're believing in, that's something else. I led with the artistic side of him.
Correct. Which we went back to the artistic side,
and that's the only thing.
And you were still telling me that's incorrect. Because you're just believing what the media is telling you. And I'm like, Nestor, you're literally wearing a crest that used to come from.
And that's what I'm talking about. Because you chose to take it political.
No, I'm going based on art.
No, you're not.
Yes,
you're
it
not.
is.
Okay, I'm going to step in now. Children. No, this is great. I think what Nestor, and you could correct me if I'm wrong.
There you go.
I think what Nestor's trying to say is if anybody looks at the shirt, Google's not in their brain. So they're not immediately seeing it and thinking of the history.
Yeah.
They're just seeing, oh, vultures, this. And then they could have their own interpretation of like,
Correct.
vultures are known for this, this, this. Nestor's trying to say, like, you did your research, but maybe it was made not with the intent of people doing the research, more so for the aesthetic and the meaning behind the animal of vultures.
No.
Okay, then never mind. I don't know.
Well, yeah, yes, but no, because
Okay.
like I said, so I really believe that.
Talking to the mic.
I really believe that there's a certain narrative of what he just stated. You know,
no, the 100%.
the narrative, the history, all of that. You know what I'm saying? There's, the media and everybody who is, anti Kanye West or whatever, have this way of looking at him, And so my thing is that he's used things in history to actually, I wouldn't say wordplay, but kind of change the narrative around is what I'm saying. But he's saying no, because he's still using that. And so that's something that he's standing on, because he's still using the same, whether it's crest
symbolism
or whether it's this or that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling him, I don't believe that that's what it is. I believe he's using it to his advantage, but turning it around.
Well,
that's what I really believe that this man is doing.
Somebody call him.
Call
Now,
Kanye.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't like to get into
What you doing?
these political talks, because I know at the end of the day, one, I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to act like I do about it. You obviously do. And so that's where you're going to be let with. And that's why I initially said that.
Well, that's like the fucked up part right there, what you just said, right?
What
like,
is fucked up about it?
You're thinking that someone's leading me to this sort of ideology or mindset. You know why I know that was inspired by 1940s Germany? Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm a Kanye West fan. And I saw him in Germany with his crest. I'm like, yo, that looks kind of dope. Where is it coming from, right? And looking into the history of it and saying, oh, shit. Wait, he's putting this in this connection with this. That's the crest before the SS was made, but he's taking this from Germany. Isn't that a little fucked up?
But he is. But again, if you choose to already see someone as who you think they are, then there isn't no conversation to have.
What do you mean?
There is no conversation to have with you or
To who I
anyone
think
that's
they are?
anti-Kanye.
I'm not. The thing is,
No, hold
that's the funny thing. I'm anti-Kanye.
Anti-now Kanye, thinking
Anti-yay.
I'm anti.
But having the belief, that
Pablo
this
Kanye
individual,
was still
having this belief that this individual has those beliefs, and not at all giving room that he might be using it to his advantage, or not to his advantage, turning it around, using that something that maybe have been so bad in history, and try to use it to turn around. And a lot of people have done that. Whether it's to build up controversy or to actually bring light to something different.
Yeah, but then you look at also the person's words, right? Someone tells you something by their actions and their words. And maybe he used that as symbolism, but you go back to a couple of years ago and him having political rallies saying slavery wasn't a choice. Black people need to stop being so ignorant. And like that kind of shows you where this person's mindset is. Those words are not made by someone else. They're not created by anyone else. Those are words that he actually said, that he almost aborted his child, that slavery was a choice, that the black community does X, Y, and Z. Like those are things he said. And maybe you didn't, watch that or hear that from him because of whatever reason didn't interest you. But as someone who genuinely does like Kanye, that's why I keep up with Kanye. It's not necessarily because I don't like him or I want him to be canceled. Genuinely, it's because I'm concerned about him, and also I'm a fan. I want him to have the best mental state he can possibly be in to create great music and great art. Yeah. Because that's what he should do, is create great music and great art. And that's why right now what he's doing, in my opinion, is not great art in comparison to his legacy. And I understand the conversation of old and versus new, right? Like we say old Drake versus new Drake.
Before you go there, because you're saying how he said those things, and you're saying, well, maybe you haven't seen that. Maybe you didn't hear these interviews or whatever. So just to bring it
wasn't
back,
an interview, by the way. It was literally a rally in front of
a rally, whatever it was. So I actually, when I went on my New York trip, I went with one, two, three black guys, and then the rest of us were Mexican, and then there was one Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And just to bring some perspective into what you're saying, the girl, we were having conversations about, like, you know, crazy conversations, actually, like very, very, it was like about black and brown and how there shouldn't be no black and it should all be only brown. And
How there should be no black?
yeah, like, and this was a black person saying that, you know.
All I'm gonna say is I'm definitely not getting canceled this week.
Okay, so anyways,
we're
I
free.
didn't say any of that. I was in this conversation.
I know.
It was just conversation that it was beautiful in the sense it was beautiful in the sense that there was black people and brown people talking about something very important, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so my friend's fiance started talking about how, you know, how certain Mexicans, she doesn't understand why they don't just go through the process of like waiting in Mexico and basically demonizing immigrants,
Undocumented immigrants.
undocumented immigrants such as myself. And so
That make you feel a type of way?
Huh?
Did that make you feel a type of way?
You know what? I wanted to hear where she was coming from. You know, I wanted to hear her thought process in this, you know, because in my head, I was like, girl, you think my mom at, like, you know, 20, 19 years old was going to want to like cross over with her 3 kids and put her kids in danger on purpose? Like, do you think like that's something that people do just, you know, to like fuck the
System,
government?
fuck
You know
the
what I'm saying?
government,
Like, no, like some people actually just want to have a better life or whatever. But at the same time, what I want to highlight from that whole scenario was that girl being Mexican from immigrants, in a sense, I guess, like being judgmental towards or demonizing other immigrants for the way that they went about things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All that to say, when I hear people saying stuff like what you said that Kanye was saying about like slavery and the black community and stuff like that, I just want to hear them out and see why they're saying that and where they're going with it. Because at the end of the day, like, people are allowed to believe what they want to believe. You know what I'm saying? But
but I mean, go ahead.
And again, not to, but I just wanted to say that to bring perspective how like you find that everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But because he's Kanye West,
And because he has so much influence.
because he has so much influence,
That's why it becomes news.
yes. But
That's why you should use its influence for good. Your mic.
leading with what I led was that artistically,
Yeah.
I still believe that this guy is, you know, a very inspirational artist in many ways. And, you know, that's all I wanted to say from that conversation.
Well, you said a lot more.
I said a lot of more because, like you said, you say one thing, I say one thing. And so then what do we got to do? We just got to keep talking. You know,
I have 3 points, and really that's it.
Go ahead.
All right, Kim Kardashian, what's up?
On this Kanye Ye situation. One, I feel like earlier in the conversation when you were kind of comparing or contrasting him and Jay-Z, I feel like Jay-Z has had his little, I wouldn't even say hiccups, but I think there's been times where Jay-Z's been in the news for like drama or things, or one, the accusations of him being like Illuminati, right?
Yeah.
And then 2, this idea of like him, like, yo, he killed a man. He, you know, he did this, he did that. So
Jay-Z was a cocaine dealer, yeah.
right. So it's like, why are you glorifying him now when knowing he had that past, right?
Correct.
And then 3, like, you know, knowing he cheated on Beyonce and
It's
people
alleged.
came for him for that, right? So I think what's important is looking at those situations and how they were handled or just completely ignored. Like, he didn't spend time talking about like, yeah, well, I don't know him well enough. Did he ever address like?
No, and that's like the other thing too. Like, you know, he didn't address those because he just let those media outlets like do their bullshit. Because either way,
So
like,
that's my point. I just didn't know if he did or not. Because again, I'm not hip hop queen culturally, whatever.
But
So like for me, it's kind of like, what you do with your influence and what you do with that power speaks volumes.
Exactly.
So I feel like because, like you said, Kanye has so much influence, it's almost like just as loud as he is about certain topics that can be controversial, it's like, can you be equally as loud about more activism as well? And I feel like at one point he was.
Yeah,
and
he
I
was.
think he stopped doing that.
Yeah, Kanye's
And
always
the
been
noise
weird.
just became more like chaotic.
But
if
you
that
see,
makes sense.
it goes back to like our idea of like what we think someone should be.
No, and that's what
You know,
I'm
like-
giving my opinion on influence as far as like comparing him to Jay-Z. I feel like Jay-Z has so much power creatively as well, but like look at where he's dipping his power in without being so quote unquote problematic, controversial versus Kanye. I agree. I do think this man has a brain on him where it's completely out of the box, and that's respectable.
Well, if
But
I
it's
Into the mic.
just his delivery
Yeah.
is not the best. So like for me, for example, I lost respect. I can't even say I was ever a huge Kanye or not, but like I got this ick with Kanye when he went and said he wanted to run for president and then cried and talked about how they were possibly going to give, their daughter up, or do the
Abort her
abortion thing.
daughter,
Like
yeah.
that, I lost so much respect because that is something between you and your wife and your family. I don't care what your agenda is going for president or not. Like, you have to respect your family and your woman. And that was a clear indicator of disrespect. So like for me, that was cringy. And I feel like his whole running for the president was a selfish scheme.
yeah.
That it's like you don't really want what's good for our country. You just want something to talk about.
Yeah. I also think like he, in a sense, politically, this is the only political thing I've said so far.
No, you haven't.
No, truly
Whatever.
it is. The
I
only
guess.
political thing I've said so far.
If that's what
The
you're,
political part of it is where like he literally sold himself out to be part of the Trump world, where he was being used as a puppet.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know about that.
No, I know, and that's okay.
But
I'm
that's
just
not the
telling you,
only
like,
political thing that you've said, Mark.
that is the only political thing that's in this. If you take
Oh
other
my
things
God, that's
politically,
crazy.
Well, my next point.
That's
If you
crazy.
take
Y'all
things
talk for
politically-
37 minutes.
No, but
I got one more point.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you believe that that's the only political thing he said?
yeah, to
Wait,
politics
no,
and
no,
culture,
don't
different
say
things.
yeah. Let her.
Hold on, let me think. I'm gonna give a very honest
I
answer.
really
Bro,
want. I
bro.
want you to be honest.
I'm gonna think.
If anyone could be honest, it's Tati.
That's fucking right.
So let's see.
Okay, so you brought up the vulture sign. That's world history. So I
Political.
don't know if that's politics.
And
That's
point- and
world
that point is
history.
more than
That's
anything-
kind of political.
No,
So
no,
that's
not
what
at
I'm
all.
so
That
so
is very political.
so
Not at all.
some people would probably take it as political, but it's world history.
Yeah, I take it more like you're doing white
So
supremacy.
I
I believe
understand.
that.
I understand why
Is
Nestor
there a white
would
supremacy
say,
party?
But I'm also not mad. I'm just saying. I'm just stating the fact.
And
that
then my last point is like, I will say, as far as like thinking about his daughter Northwest, right? How you're like, he shouldn't have gave her
Bestie
the collab.
Northie?
This your best.
Bestie.
It's kind
I
of.
didn't say he shouldn't have. I
You
said,
did. You
I
said
s-
he shouldn't.
You
have.
literally said,
You
yeah.
said
No,
he shouldn't have
I said
because
should he have done that?
you said.
I don't know if I would have done it.
Yeah, you said
like,
he shouldn't have.
Well, look
Because
well,
of the way she talks to her mom or something, or is disrespectful, he shouldn't have granted her that like collab. And like for me, this is something I think I'm going to applaud Kanye/Kim because it's a partnership here.
Yeah.
I think like Northwest, as she's growing up in the public eye, because we see public social media, I do respect how this girl is so multifaceted and diverse and talented. Like she does makeup, she does her own hair, she's not saying she's gonna be a rapper. She plays basketball. I think it's a beautiful thing that they're raising their children to be creative in their own ways because again, she is a creative herself. And then two, allowing the space to do that. I just hope that the space they allow her to grow in does not immediately put her in this box based on her father.
Yeah,
You get what
and-
I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think because she's shown signs of. Again, I'm not there, so I can't speak. I don't
None
know
of
why.
us are there.
You know,
I would love
we
to
don't-
be there though.
I know,
Kim,
right?
invite me over.
But I guess
Well,
Marco
my-
wouldn't. But
No, I would love to be there. I would love to talk to Kanye ever. But like going
only
back to
talk to
being
Kim.
like a
wait, I
parent,
didn't finish.
going
No,
back to being
the-
a parent, like I feel like another thing that's more now like as I'm a parent is like the way that he treats the mother of his children.
Oh.
Like, blasting
Definitely.
online,
Yeah.
saying that,
No,
you
that's
fucked
not-
Chris Paul, saying that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
on
All
social
that
media
is
going
where
out.
like I
And
got the
that's-
ick with
So
him.
like that influence
When
part,
he
right?
brought
Like if he has
family-
so much influence,
Yeah.
wouldn't he should be a positive influence on what
Correct.
a black father in
And
this,
that's
because
one
of
of the
all the
things-
stigma that black fathers get.
And that's one of the things that like I don't agree. A Kanye West fan would be like, well, she must be doing something
no,
wrong.
a Kanye West cultist, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
That right
And
now,
that's what I'm saying.
you guys are part of the Kanye West cult.
You guys.
See,
Well, Nestor, I'm saying. I'm
I'm
just
like,
fucking. I'm fucking with Nestor
I'm
at this point.
neutral land
See,
right
but-
here.
Nestor's
No, but
part
you
of the
gotta call
Kanye
it
West
for-
cult where
No,
I've
but
broken
you,
away.
You gotta call it for what it is. And if you believe that that's where I'm at,
Yeah, bro.
then you don't know me.
You're part of the Kanye West cult. You're the one.
I'm
Were you the
not.
one
I'm
wearing the
not.
merch? I
Well-
burned my Yeezys. Just kidding. I
I'm
didn't
wearing the
burn my
merch
Yeezys.
because I respect him as an artist. And I've said that. I've said that from the
So how can
beginning.
you respect him as an artist but not respect him as a person?
It could coexist. And
To me, it doesn't, because his art is
To
his
you,
people.
it doesn't. But to me, it does.
Because the way he puts out in his music is, besides the fact that personally I think it's been on a downward trend for a while, it's reflective of what he is as a person,
Yeah,
and that's throughout everyone's
and
art.
that is also true. That
Yeah.
is also true that it does reflect who he is as a person.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that I personally believe in his like artistic like perspective, and I really fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? But that also, and I've been said that like I don't agree with him the way he treats Kim, but also again, I'm not there. I'm not there. Not that someone should ever.
No, but you're there publicly.
Not that anyone should ever disrespect anybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But maybe she's disrespecting him in ways that,
Yeah,
But
but
if,
keep it
if,
in-house.
if she
But
did, but
again-
if she did, it was where the social media could not see it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like
But
two
which one
wrongs
is
don't
worse?
make a right.
The
and
social
but
media
which one is worse?
The social media.
The
one.
social media
Why?
one. Because you're
Because-
showing it to billions of people.
I got Nestor.
But just to
Let's-
bring, I'm not saying I'm agreeing with that. But just
Sounds
to
like you're agreeing.
But no, I'm not. But just to bring perspective is to some people they may be, and I've heard this from a lot of people. They're like, well, I'd rather be myself all the time. You know what I'm saying? And do I agree with that statement? No, because because of certain things that you decide to be yourself all the time, you can choose to just throw everything away. And into your defense, that's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is like, I'm just bringing perspective into things. And
I just feel like
that's what-
he didn't think about his family when he started like unloading the dirty laundry on social media. There you didn't consider your family. You were throwing a tantrum. And again, not saying he wasn't like he didn't have the right for some of this, because like if let's say he was banned from his daughter's birthday party and that, I could understand it's justified why you'd be upset. But it's more so you're willing to not think about your family just to throw it on social media for what? What are you getting out of doing that besides like your children 20 years from now having to
traumatized.
read and look at all of this?
Yeah, and they already have enough. I mean, even their mother like has a history too. So like, why are you putting? Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think in sensual as a person, like, yeah, it's a very selfish thing to do. But yeah, no, I wish we did have. He was in a better headspace, honestly, to make better art. And I think you may think his influence is X, Y, and Z. I would disagree with you just based off of any statistical measure that you want to go off of. But I think that, for the benefit of Kanye and his legacy, I really wish he would just like, put away.
After they cut ties with him, they made a whole nother contract with him of $500 million to sell everything that they had already designed.
You wanna break that down for me? Because now you're going into the business aspect of Adidas
No,
versus
that's
Yeezy.
that's just the only statement that I want to know. Like
necessary.
someone that cuts ties.
Yeah.
You're trying to gaslight me right there.
No.
That
I'm
is
just saying,
gaslighting.
I'm saying if you want
you're
to break
saying-
it down.
No, you're saying
because you didn't want to bring business into this conversation.
You're saying no.
I will
I did
gladly
not
bring business.
I didn't say I didn't want to bring
Yeah, you
business.
did.
No.
Yes, you did.
I said no. I didn't. If anything, I applauded you for being a businessman.
No. The Kanye West business part.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I said I didn't want to go political because of the fact that there's a lot of political things that I know that he's changed. A lot of things that has a lot of things that have happened in history. He's changed it, in my opinion, or he's tried to change or bring light to it in a different way. But you're saying no, like, why are you using the same thing? Like, that's what you're saying. I'm scared, Paulina. Where you at? Like, I said politically, I didn't want to go there because I know that we're not gonna come into agreement of that. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm bringing perspective into things. I'm not, again, morally, I don't agree with this man completely.
Yeah.
Politically, I don't agree with this man completely. You know what I'm saying? Is there some truth to a lot of these conversations or a lot of this, a lot of things that he has put out there?
Yeah.
There might be truth that we may not know.
No, I mean, most of the things.
To me, there might be truth that where other people are saying, oh no, he's being foul for that. Like, he's just speaking out of his ass. Like, we might think that, but I think that there is some truth to especially a lot of political things, which I'm not going to pinpoint certain things because, again, I wasn't in the room. I wasn't in that time of history. And so because of that, I can't have that, like, I'm not speaking facts. You know what I'm saying? But business-wise, I just said a comment, and don't try to gaslight me. I said they went back into getting, if someone that wanted to cut ties with someone so much, they were just, okay, we're done, deal. I wouldn't continue to do business with you.
Which isn't true. What they're trying to do is sell off like the old inventory, which is smart. Because once again, it was $1 billion fucking brand.
It's smart, but
Mike.
It's smart, but wouldn't you say that someone that was trying to cut ties with somebody would not do that no more?
No, absolutely.
So think about it like this. Right? Let's say you and Marco did business together and you made 5,000 piñatas. Okay? You made 5,000 piñatas.
No, I know what it is.
Marco.
We made 5,000
right?
Bravo piñatas.
Yeah.
I know
Cute
what it
as
is,
hell.
guys.
And then you got canceled
I know
for
what it
being
is.
So
anti-slavery.
then what do you think then Adidas,
Do what Gap did.
what did Gap do?
Discount all the stuff.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing.
No, they didn't sell it.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Wait, Gap?
Gap
Discounted clearance and then they destroyed it.
They were giving stuff away for free.
No, I know, but it was a cycle. They started to discount it and then
Well, the people that I know just got them for free.
yes, at the end they were giving them out for free because Gap wanted to distance themselves away from Kanye.
Yeah, that's
The same thing that Adidas is doing now.
So I think you should just give them away for free because there's a lot of
So Nestor can get some free shoes.
there's a lot of Kanye
Give them away at
cultists. I'm a Kanye cultist.
I have 2 pairs of Yeezys, which they're actually pretty comfortable, but
So are you gonna throw those away?
no, I'm not a cancel like
that's
brand type
but
person.
remember that's the separation of like artist and
Yeah, I'll still wear them.
But I guess so,
I wear them to cut my grass sometimes.
I guess I'm gaslighting our producer, so I'm not gonna gaslight him.
No, it's because like honestly, Ness, I think that you and your whole like cultural mindset live in a world that is completely consumed by art and culture, which is great. That's amazing because that is what you're inspired by. But like looking at you know how we talked about earlier, like looking at a bigger sense of what it is. Like we looked at the bigger sense of the world when we were talking about the performance of the halftime Super Bowl show. The same thing. I look at it in a bigger sense, right? Like I feel like Kanye could have such a bigger influence, but because of all of these things that he's doing publicly, that's what's hindering him for being the partners with the big brands that hold the keys to the general public. Kanye may have the keys to the people who follow him and the people who like him and people like that, right? Who still follow him. But he doesn't have the normal everyday American keys like Jay-Z does, like Dr. Dre does. And that's where it's like, man, if he's such a genius, if he could just shut the fuck up, he could have gotten to that better than those two combined. That's why, like, you gotta talk into the mic, and it's broken. Connect.
I think it goes back to what's important to every individual.
Yeah, no, and absolutely.
You know,
and it might
and-
not be important to him. He might be like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it.
He's in Venice getting head on a boat by his new wife. Like, that's literally what he did. He got in public. He's banned from Italy.
Yeah, there's other opinions I have about what you just said, but I'm
Whoa,
not.
that's the truth.
I'm not gonna.
now I kind of want to
Wait,
know.
I'm not gonna
what's
say-
the opinions?
I wanna know
That's
now.
literally what happened.
I think because I choose to see.
No,
that,
but like, what is that?
because I choose to see that there's certain things that are more important to certain people.
Yeah.
And because I choose to, like, look at the good in people, as far not the good in people, the artistic side in people.
Yeah.
You're choosing to have a view of me that I only have this cultural and artistic view, and I can't see bigger than what I'm.
No. I think
That's what you just said.
I did, but I didn't mean in a sense where you can't. I mean in a sense where your world is in focus in that because that's what you're passionate about.
That's what I'm highlighting right now.
Well, that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah, but just because I'm highlighting something doesn't mean that that's just who I am. Like,
no, but like if that was true, right? Then you would have known what the Adidas thing was, and it wasn't a new contract. It was the fact that they were trying to sell off the merchandise in order to
but
make
it
their
is
losses.
a new contract. It's not in a contract like you're getting it. What you're saying is true. Like it's a contract to sell what was already made.
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that in this specific contract, I'm not saying he got a new deal. That's not what I'm saying.
You were gaslighting me to think, well, did you know he got a new $200 million deal?
But
and I was like, Nestor.
Another contract is another contract, is what I'm saying. It's separate to his original contract.
Yeah, there's no creative
and
control.
that's all I said.
Yeah, there's no
I think Nestor's point is if they were that by Kanye, they would have been like, burn the fucking shoes, throw them in the trash. I don't care.
They still gotta make
and
money.
Marco's like, it doesn't matter. You could hate somebody's guts. You could wish they rot in hell.
Just minimize
but
losses.
money is money, and I'm gonna get the bread, and that's it.
And I get that because there's people that have literally talked about my family and then they want to come into my chair and get their eyebrows done by me.
Yeah.
And I could
it's on site.
And I could slash them brows.
You should. I mess up their brows personally.
I hope you got insurance.
Leave them bald, but I don't because I choose to be on the business side in certain certain situations.
Yeah.
But talking that big talk the way Adidas does, I would have
Adidas
done that. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, so they're just trying to minimize their losses, and they've separated themselves the same way that every other partner has, right? You know, Jay-Z separated himself, which I was really sad about. After Jail was actually my jam. I like that song a lot when it came out in Donda. But after this, he separated himself from Kanye because I would have loved to see, you know, Kanye at the fucking Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
That would be a good show.
And the fact that we can't get that because of the fact of his own, you know, whatever state he's in really is disappointing to me as a genuine fan.
and I choose to believe, and this is not because, again, I'm a Kanye fan. Not because I'm a Kanye fan, but I choose to believe at the end of the day, we all have a choice to make and what we're going to stand on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but as someone, not to cut you off, but as someone that understands, and I think you can agree with me on this, I understand a bit of what Kanye is going through as far as him saying he wants to tear down the machine and tear down the political structure and the economic structure that's been oppressing our people for so long, right? I understand that rhetoric. And to think that that's the hill he's going to die on versus someone like his peer who's done it, right? When I hate to keep going back to Jay, but everything else. But Jay-Z who's done it, who's been part of the structure, who's learned how to operate in the structure. Which one?
I died.
Who learned how to operate in the structure, who learned how to excel in it and become, you know, the second hip hop billionaire, seeing that like that for those, the hill that he's dying on, in my opinion, isn't worth it because as someone who's part somewhat of the structure, be it at a lesser scale than him, it's like, I understand how you can operate within the structure to still get your ultimate goal. And he should look at his own peers who have done that as well. And that's why it's like, all right, bro, like why? And then it gets to the point of, are you really doing this because you're passionate about it? Or are you doing it because you're passionate about you being important?
Yeah, and that's
about you being the center of attention, about you being the crisis actor, about you being this person who's so polarizing because that feeds your own ego. And then you look at it and you say, okay, is your ego worth everything else you're giving up?
And I think that is up to every single individual. Like, you got to ask yourself, like, in this situation, am I compromising?
Yeah.
Am I doing something about it because of my pride? Or am I doing something because I understand that I have to do this? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
Like, there's times where, like, I feel like I have
But who
to do
pointed
this.
you the savior? Yourself.
Exactly. Of your own life.
Well, he's trying to save everyone's life.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. In that sense, he is, because again, you go back to like, sometimes your purpose is directly connected to other people's purpose, and you're gonna be that person that has to create change. And maybe in his mind is he is creating that change.
Kanye, come on our show, please.
Yeah, call in.
I wish.
I wish, right? But
I say let's end on what's everybody's favorite Kanye or Ye song. I'll go first.
what is it?
My favorite is Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Wow. Okay.
That is my all-time favorite Kanye song. When I hear it, I'm Kanye in my head. Not Ye, I'm Kanye. So that's my favorite song.
There's so many I can't choose.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I'm gonna choose two of the old Ye and the new Ye because that's what we're talking about. Because I generally think.
Oh, I love Marco.
So my old Ye one is After the Bat, the Workout Plan by Kanye.
Oh.
You ever hear that song? I love that song. Just because it's like, girl, get your hair done, everything else. I love that intro. And then Father Stretch My Hands for the new one.
That's a good one.
Because that, like, honestly, like, I was a big fan of the Pablo album. A lot of people didn't like it.
I could agree with you on that
but
song.
that was a good song. Another thing we can talk about is how Chance the Rapper, like, demise and, his downfall. But we'll save that for another episode.
Any last thoughts before we end? Both of you.
Nestor is a gaslighter and is trying to make me think my opinions are. And I'm just kidding. No, I love discussions like this. Truthfully,
me too. I'm really happy. I love this episode. Can I say? And this is the episode I think I talked the least amount in.
Probably.
But I love a good debate, and I love a good debate that ends and starts and carries with respect. So shout out to you guys for respectfully. Disagreeing. I think it's beautiful. I think we need more conversations where we could talk about different topics and openly share what we're passionate about and learn from one another. I learned a lot of new stuff today that I didn't know about Kanye. Maybe I'll use it tomorrow teaching, because I do use Kanye when I teach rhetoric. I sure do. So now I got something to add to my repertoire of content of what I teach. But I think it was great. I learned a lot. And Kanye fans or haters are going to love this episode because they're going to pick a side.
And I want to say that I respect everybody's opinion on anything, but I do want to say that I don't want my pride to get the worst or the best out of me. So, if you guys took anything of that, I feel like I really tried to, again, use that watermelon principle with anybody or anything.
I like that. I never heard that before.
And so I try to just, when I look at anybody, I think of that, I think of like, what can I learn from this person, or what can I not learn from this person, And so, and also, that's about it.
That's good.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. Paulina, we miss you. You and Baby G could have been in this conversation or keeping me company here. I don't know. But thank you all for watching. I am Talk with Tati.
I am the Bro.
And Marco is at him. Just at him. Come for him. He'll debate. Don't gaslight him, though. And we are Never Too Shy. Don't forget to follow us at Never Too Shy Pod. And email us at nevertooshypod@scenepena.go.
Yes, ma'am. Look
Period.
at you.
Have a great day.
Bye.